Okay. Okay. There you go. Like hello everybody. I did start and it wasn't actually live. So I don't know what happened there. I'm really sorry. I'm actually gonna, now that it has gone live, I'm actually gonna try what I thought I had mastered over the no, that didn't work either. So I'm sorry. Okay. I'll have a look at that again through the week. Anyway, so I did start to talk, even though it obviously hadn't gone live when it should have. So I do apologise for another hiccup this week. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mystique, and I'm a psychic medium clairvoyant, and I'm a natural born psychic. I have been speaking to, connecting with spirits and seeing spirits since the age of 3, much to the disgrace of my family, but that's okay. That's their issue, not mine. And through teenage years, I suppressed it a little bit due to the fact that there was a bit of a stigma around being psychic and so forth. So I did suppress it for a little while and kind of let it slide a little bit. But I always connected myself. I always listened to spirit. I was always guided by spirit, regardless of what anyone else thought, because there was a lot of bullying that went around at the time. Again, that's other people's problems, not mine. I have mastered the art of helping people getting bullied for the same much reasons. So I'm here every Saturday night. If you'd like and share this page for me, that would be fantastic, because it will just help spread the word of me being able to help everybody I can go through going through whatever in life. And yes, there's COVID around currently, but in saying that, COVID is a masterful way of, we can't change it. So how do we kind of get through it to be able to do what we do on an everyday basis without the fear factor? A lot of people are looking for guidance, and I was starting to talk about myself there. And apart from my natural born psychic abilities, I've spent many years of studying to get degrees in empowerment coaching, holistic counselling, psychotherapy, past life trauma release, crystal healings, spiritual and intuitive healing as well. I look after a lot of, I do some community work as well. I look after domestic violence victims and help them get back to, understanding who they are, and making sure that they're okay after their incidents. Hello, Stella. Hello, Marianne. Hello, Donna. Hello, Tammy. Hello, Ree. Thank you very much for joining. Nice of you to, pop on by and join. And the lovely Angel Trishelle has popped in, as well as, I missed you last week, Angel. You weren't here, but that's okay. And Pip, my sis. How are you, my sis? Isabel, good evening. Angel, probably want to have a chat to you through the week. My background didn't work again this week, so maybe I need a bit of a tip on that. That'd be great if I could get your guidance on that. That'd be fabulous. Angel does her own lives, and she's obviously the owner of the Royal Psychics, which I'm part of as well. Hello, Tammy. Hello, Paula. And so if you could like and share the page, as I said, it does help others, even though some people aren't looking for readings on other pages. Some of the readings actually, when someone else hears it, they may resonate with them. Any guidance also may help them on their journey. It is a wonderful thing being involved in metaphysical and spiritual world, because it does help so many. And with the other things that I have put on, hello Jacqueline, with the other things that I have studied to attach it, like the holistic counselling and the coaching and so forth, when you're giving a reading to someone, especially if there's past stuff there, and if I feel it and I sense it and I bring it to the surface, it's not about me bringing into a negative, because it's certainly not a negative. It's more about understanding that person is still carrying something from that, because if I can still sense it and still feel it, it means that they're still carrying it, and part of their life can't move past certain things, and then in their lives they'll have repeat things happen to them, and they'll wonder why. And it's more about, it's because they're carrying something from past. So with doing all the other training in every other area that I do, it's more about being able to, my vision when I was young was to have a wellness center. Now, I certainly don't have the money or even the property to have a wellness center as such. However, I what I do have, by doing all the studies to add to it, is a wellness center without having the big, bricks and mortar. So if someone comes to me for a reading and something shows up on them, I certainly have all the tools and the knowledge and the qualifications to help them if there's anything else that's going on. And that, of course, friends of mine call me Unique Mystique for a reason. I add so much into it that it helps many on many levels. And I just think it's not about ego at all. Please don't take me the wrong way. It is certainly not about ego. It's more about empowering myself to learn so much more so I can help you at the same time, if all that makes sense. Hello, Sheridan. Hello, Vicky, Vicky Licious. We used to call her on Psychic TV. She's one of our #1 fans. Anyway, let's get going. Angel is certainly on here supporting, and which is great to see. She's of course a good supporter. My little sis Pip, good on you. Yeah, Pip, I'm actually gonna, I know you haven't asked a question, but I'm actually going to have a look for you. Pip, I mean, I know a lot of people, I don't know how much I can say, Pip, how much you want me to say, but we call one another sisters because she has a great love and a great respect for my brother Jeff, who passed away, unfortunately, in 2013. And he wasn't sick for very long. However, I kick him every so often because I had a, sensation. And, yeah, he had brain cancer and brain tumours and lung cancer, caught it quite late. And Pip loves him dearly, and as he does her. And mutual respect, and we call one another sis. And and look, I often, Jeff is often around, so is my dad. My nan is very powerful, is one of my spirit guides. My nan is a very gentle soul. My dad is a person who, a bit like me, says it like it is, and that's not to be rude, that's just to be very on point and no messing around. But yeah, he's pretty good there. Now, Pip, I want to actually say to you tonight, you do have intuition, you do have gut feelings, but a lot of times you don't listen to them, and a lot of times you allow them to slip by without taking notice, and then a few days later you'll kind of go, I really should have listened to that. Why didn't I listen? And you start to kick yourself because you didn't. I want to say, please listen to it for the next couple of weeks, because in the next couple of weeks there's changes that's going to happen to you, and changes around your property. I don't know what's happened to your property throughout. I know it kind of, from memory, it kind of got a bit dangerous there with the fires. But yeah, there seems to be some change around the property, or a new idea that you actually have to put more into that property than what you already have. I know that could probably be a bit hard, but there seems to be something around that. And also too, I want to say to you that with the greatest respect, because I say everything with the greatest respect, I actually want to say that with those changes and with something else going on, it seems like at the moment, and I want to say the last 4 weeks, you've actually lacked motivation in being able to put your head together, what is the old saying, head down, bum up type thing, to be able to speak to the right people to get to virtually get to where you want to go, is what I want to say with that. There just seems to be something that's kind of just holding you back, where you can't either speak to the right person, or something has gone wrong somewhere, and you just can't get the figures right, something to do with a book. But please persevere with it, get the motivation, get the thrill of the chase back into you, because I know when you have that thrill of the chase, like everything just goes bang bang bang, get that thrill back in, and you will achieve what you want to achieve. So I understand that times have been tough. You have my heart always, and if there's anything else I can help you with, please let me know. And oh, Stella, thank you so much. No, I'm certainly not about ego at all. Never have been. I am who I am. I've often said through life, take me as I am or don't take me at all. It's that simple. Um, you know, Angel, Danina, and a few of our other, psychics under the Royal Psychic banner. Um, you know, people in this industry, we're not always like loud and boisterous. I mean, I always have been in a way, but I'm genuine, I'm authentic, and I won't say anything to harm anybody or hurt anybody. I certainly, I say it as I see it type thing. And yeah, a lot of people have not believed in me all my life. And again, to those people I say, well, that's tough luck. I'm not going to change for anybody, and because I am who I am. So thank you, Stella, for that compliment. And Pip, thank you for letting me say what I said. I knew you wouldn't. I knew you wouldn't be upset with anything, because I have the greatest respect for you, and your love and respect for Jeff. By the way, he sends his love. It was Pip's birthday the other day, and he sends his love, as he does normal. Stacey, good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Is there anything coming through for me? Stacey, look, I want to say to you that there's something around your work. There seems to be stop, start. And I also want to say that there's changes that have gone on. I don't, when I have to use COVID, I will. I don't really want to rely on a lot of things happening because of COVID, but unfortunately they have. So at times I have to bring in COVID. So yeah, please, please don't ever think that I'm using COVID as just a backup in my readings. It is very real to emotions and stress and anxiety that people are going through. And if I see it that it's conflicting and whatever in readings, I have to kind of go, do you know what? That wouldn't be happening in your life if we didn't have COVID. So Stacey, I want to say to you, with where you're working, it seems like the middle management are all a natter. And when they're all a natter, it's more about that they've heard something from the top. And if something from the top has been said where there's going to be some structural changes and things like that, I think everybody's a bit on edge. I think everybody's wondering, oh, am I next? What's going to happen to me? I want to say to you that you're safe, you're okay. I don't see any job changes for you. However, I see that something else is going to be put on the table. Whether you like it or not, it's a different story, because I think that you'll read it and go, I'm worth more than that, or I'm better than that. Drop that kind of persona with it, because I want you to start reading through the document properly and thoroughly. It seems like when you read it thoroughly, you will see it's almost like a, not necessarily a promotion way up, but a promotion to the side. So with a promotion to the side, that's always going to come with, extra responsibilities, but extra money. Make sure that extra money is in the contract, though, because it seems to me that you're going to fly on the seat of your pants with it. And I virtually have the warrior card out with me as well. And she's virtually saying, take care of you and understand what you want, and don't settle for anything different. Like, I know COVID times are tough, and that's not me saying you've got to go in there and say, well, I don't like this. It's not about not liking it. It's more about, if you don't understand something in the contract, or in what someone, if there's no contract in what they're saying to you, then please just kind of go, do you know what? I've read this, but I don't fully understand this part of it. Can you please explain it? They'll actually have more respect. So there seems to be that sort of change going on there. So I hope that helps you. But also, too, I have an older lady that is trying to say hello, and she's saying that you're not listening. I don't know what you're not listening to, but she's saying that you're not listening. So I hope that resonates with you. And let me know. That'd be great. Also, too, I just wanted to point out, last week we had a troll person about 3/4 of the way through, apparently. I reported him to Facebook, and I got it organised, and got him to, get in trouble, obviously, for what he was doing. But if that happens again, please ignore what they're saying. They're jumping in saying, go to their site and they'll give you a proper reading and all this sort of stuff. So they are hackers, so be very mindful of that, not to jump on and get involved in that, because they will hack into you. So if we get one, we're just going to ignore it, and we're just going to keep going. Okay, lots of people jumping on now. It's fantastic that you're all doing that. I really appreciate it. Again, if you can like and share the page, that gets a lot of people involved in some of the readings that may not necessarily be for them. Tammy, thank you so much. Okay, let me just scroll down. And Vicky, thank you. She loves calling me magical mystique. I've called it mystical mystique, so but you can call it magical. Paula, hello again. Just wondering if there's anything. Wonder if there's anything you can share with me at this time. Paula, I think we connected last week, and there seemed to have been a lot going on with you. And a lot. I found a lot, way too much for what can be said here. It would just go on forever type thing. But I just want to touch on, you've got something happening around you too, where there's some changes coming in. But with the greatest respect, I feel that there's a Spirit tells me there's a stubbornness about you, but a stubbornness in a nice way. So, if I have to say that someone's stubborn, I will say it's either the nice way or the not so nice way. But with you, it seems like it's a nice stubborn, because that means that you stand your ground a lot and you don't budge when you know you're 100% right. So when you're kind of dealing with a problem that you might not know all the answers, or something goes wrong, and you're not quite 100% in putting your whether it's your opinion or whether it's your statement or whatever forward, you do back off a bit, and you're a bit like me. You kind of work out what's going on before you actually say it. And that's the good part of being stubborn, because it means that when you know that you're 100% correct in what you're saying, you're free to say what you want, if that makes sense. So, but I want to say in the last 6 months, even with that, there's something that's held you back, because I see this, pardon the pun, but I see this mask over your face that hasn't been able to express everything that you need to express in the time that you've had. So there is something going on there where I would ask you, if you may, think about what, in this instance, think about what you're going to say and how you're going to say it, because apparently what Spirit tells me is that what you have to say is important. However, it needs to be said correctly, because if it's said in the wrong way, people are automatically going to take it the wrong way, and that's not what we want. So if you can tidy that up a bit, everything will kind of work out for the better, because I feel that you're struggling with a few things. But if you say everything with not with a matter-of-fact attitude, but a little bit more assertive, but no agreement that kind of holds you back from that point after that, if that makes sense. So yeah, let me know how you go with that, and I hope it turns out okay. Maz, thank you for joining. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Mary Ann, first time watching, would love some guidance. Thank you for joining us, Mary Ann. If you wouldn't mind liking and sharing the page, where other people may get some guidance themselves out of some readings, that would be fantastic. Would really appreciate your support on that. Yeah, okay. Marianne, I never like to say I'm the bearer of bad news, because normally if there's an ending coming for something, it's normally because there's something better that's on the other side of that. So I never, when I get cards like the Tower or the Hangman or whatever else, and everyone goes, oh my God, and they all panic, it's not about the card picture or the card saying. It's more about what is around it. And what I get around it is actually, part of it is actually quite nice, but I also get that there's some conflict with you. So you're surrounded by something that, and some people, because there's more than one, I want to say to you, there's probably about 2 or 3, where there's been some conflict go on. And the more you've tried to kind of jump over them to talk about that conflict, the more it's getting bigger and better. And I want to say to you that, unfortunately with you, COVID has changed some of your plans. And I understand that you had plans to travel and to do all sorts of things, but that's come to a screaming halt. But I wonder if the frustration of all that has kind of got the better of you and the better of others, as I want to say there. And being the better, if it's taken over the better of others, there seems to be, everyone seems to be a bit of a snappy tom. And when people are snappy toms, then they're going to kind of, have something to say when they really shouldn't be saying anything at all. Do you know what I mean? People have got to rein back some of their emotions with COVID. And look, I know it's hard. It's not always the best that we're situated in COVID. We can't do much about it. however we can make the best of a bad situation. But I just see this snappy thing in front of me, and I have to address that because Spirit's putting that right in my face. So it seems to be that people are short with one another, and when they're short with one another, then their conversations kind of go a bit squiff. And when conversations go like that, it's almost like, what are we all doing here? And why is all that going on, if you know what I mean? So it would be great if you can help resolve that by just going in there and being the calmer one in the situation. That'd be and if that has helped you in any way, please let me know. Or if you want any further clarification on that a bit later, that'd be great. Oh my goodness, look at you all jumping on. Wow, this is awesome. Okay, let me have a look. Renee, look, the first thing I want to say to you is absolutely. Where I'm being taken to is there's something that you have, there's something precious that you have of both of them. So with Dad's, I feel that it's a piece of jewelry that he's given you along the way. And with your brother, I'm also seeing a book. So it's almost like there's something that you keep referring to in a book. And I don't mean that there's just photos, but there seems to be something you keep referring to in a book. I want to say to you that you at times don't feel they're around at all. And sometimes when you're trying to connect with them yourself, you don't hear anything, you don't feel anything, and therefore you think that they're not there. They are there. Invite them in. Another kind way that I always like to share with inviting spirit in is if it's their anniversary, if it's their birthday, if you're having like dinner yourself, put a spare plate, make up an actual plate for them. Don't put food on it, but make a setting at your dining table like for them and invite them in to join you. And when you do that, that's virtually an open door for spirit. When spirit sees that, they know they're totally welcome. So when spirit will go, oh my God, like, they're expecting me type thing. With Dad, I seem to think that there's a canister or there's a particular glass that he used to use for some sort of alcohol at dinner, whether that's wine or no, it's not wine. I've just been corrected. It's not wine. It's more like thank you. It's more like a well-oiled scotch is what I hear, that he used to like having. The way I see it, it's actually after dinner that he had that and got a bit comfortable with his full belly. He's a person that kind of went, oh, I enjoyed my meal. This is fab. He's one of those types of people, and that's how he's coming through to me. Kind of sharing that he wasn't an overeater, don't get me wrong, but he enjoyed his food, but he certainly felt like, patting his tummy and having like appreciated that he had a full tummy at the end of it. Your brother is laughing as if to say, typical dad taking all the food, but they are together and they send you their love. But Dad's like saying to me, stop worrying. There's nothing for you to continue to worry about. The situation, I've got to be very delicate with this, with the situation at hand, not your fault. Stop taking on the guilt. Everything will be okay. And if you have like a bit of a different, how can I say it, like a different view on that rather than the view that you're taking. Okay, so Dad is saying there is a different view that you need to take, and then everything will work out fine. So Renee, I hope that helps you, and let me know how you go with that. That'd be great. Okay. What have we got here? Hi, Tammy. Hi, Deirdre. I've just another one from Maz. She might touch on second if so many things start to go in the next few months. I've had important appointments and seem to get rejected to fixing certain things in my life. All this change. Maz, look, I want to refer to what I said to you earlier. And yes, things will change, but there's something in you that needs to change first. And I say that with the greatest respect. Things haven't been going totally your way because there's a little barrier with you. And I need to probably talk off this live feed to let you know what that is. Okay. So if you can contact me another time, that'd be great. And I will tap into something else a bit later for you. Thank you. I think it's a bit too personal for here. Okay. Let me have a look. Hi, are my gifts going to come out stronger soon? Hello, Donna. You're doubting yourself, you naughty girl. I'm going to be able to smack you. The more you doubt yourself, sweetheart, the more it's not going to happen for you. This self-doubt, this, you know, non-self-acceptance and all these sort of things, when you go through those phases, it puts negative energy into you. So therefore, what you're trying to achieve is squashed by the negativity, and the negativity will stay longer in your body than what it will if you're, looking at it a different way. So I want to say to you, and my dad in spirit is laughing, saying, lift the lid and go for it. So that's how he talks. He sort of, but I want to say, where he's saying that, it's more about when you doubt, you question what you hear, you question your abilities, and therefore you're too worried to bring that forward. So the lesser you doubt and be confident in what you're hearing and what you're feeling and project that out instead, everything will be okay. Everything, your gifts will get stronger the less that you doubt and the more that you do. So if you want to, I don't know, I hate it when I got to say, practice on your friends, and all that sort of thing. But it is a good way to kind of just keep sharing knowledge, that not knowledge that you already know about these people, but other knowledge that they may not, ever, that you don't ever know. But it's more about getting the ability and getting the confidence to allow it to flow and flow and flow. Because when you do that, you'll walk away from that and feel on top of the world, and you'll understand that you've helped people along the way. And then that doubt seems to get squashed. When the doubt goes, emphasizing more in you, that comes forward. I actually want to say to you that the vision that you had, what you have been thinking of what's going to happen with you, I want to let you know that virtually in the next 18 months, I want to take it. It will take that time for you to explore certain other, or not other avenues, but explore avenues of what you've got now. Do a little bit of stuff on you with the self-doubt, and it seems like that you will just excel. Put your best foot forward, lovely. It's time to take that step and go, do you know what? I can do this, and start telling yourself you can, because you 100% can. Okay. Hello, dear. Oh, that's so nice. We will be back at some point. COVID has kind of messed that up with the studio and stuff like that. I do the psychic phone line, the psychic TV phone lines when I can, but I've got a multitude of things going on where I'm changing a few things up. My life in my day roles has changed dramatically as of Thursday. So a lot of things with me are going to change. A lot of things with me are going to change, and you're probably going to see a lot more of me, but that's okay. And I want to put wheels in motion of a lot of things. Hello, Summer, how are you? You guys are good. So many nice comments, which is lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Jacqueline. Cruise buddy of 2013, 2015. That was a lot of fun. We all enjoyed that. Mina, message from mum and dad. Okay. Mum is saying to you, wow, okay, very particular. Everything that you have anxiety about, and I do mean this with the greatest respect, your anxiety levels are building over something that may not ever happen. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's what they're coming through with. And dad's almost like, rubbing mum's back as if to say, you just need to tell her because she's creating some angst and all this anxiety for no real reason, is what I hear. And I think in your mind, and again, with respect, the problem seems to be there, but it's not. I think you're probably the only one that'll understand this. So if you can change your thought process and stop what ifing, like what if this happens tomorrow? What if this happens next week? Or what if this doesn't happen? That's actually what's causing the anxiety, because you're saying, but what if this happens? How am I going to do this? Or if this doesn't happen next week, how am I going to pay for that? Or how am I going to move this over here to this? They're all, again, with respect, they're all what ifs. And mum is saying, please stop all that because she knows what you're like when the anxiety hits, because she had anxiety as well, apparently. And Dad is kind of rubbing her back, because that's what he used to do when she kind of got herself in a state of, like, hypervigilance and anxiety. It seemed to be that used to calm her down. So I hope that makes sense to you. And let me know how you go with that, because anxiety building with what ifs can really, they can bring on physical things. They can bring on, sleepless nights. It can bring on anxiety where you're having full on panic attacks. It's not really worth the angst to do that. And there's healings, and there's coaching, and there's all sorts of things that I can do or help you with, that will curb, when you get some of that curb on the anxiety and the what ifs, then when it starts to happen, you know how to bring yourself back, if that makes sense. So if you need a hand with that, please give me a shout, and we can sort that out from there. So I hope that helps you, my love. Look at this. Hello, Queen. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Tony, can you see if I might be moving to Queensland anytime soon? Well, without spirit and without the cards, the answer's no. You can't go to Queensland while the borders are shut. I kind of had to say that, Tony. Really, I really did. However, there seems to be with you. Well, I know you're not an underachiever, because and you're not really an overachiever. You do like to achieve, but you're not arrogant about certain things, which is a good thing. But with you, I see that there's could I say that you're putting a little safety net away? Did I just blow that secret? Whatever. I can't help it. But it seems to be you've kind of already been preparing for it, because the want is so great. And when there's such a want, excuse me, it's not a need, it is a want. And when you want for something that is so nice, or, you want things to start afresh because you've, whether it's because you've got bad memories, or you just want to start afresh because you're just over a few things, that will come because, in your cards that I drew, I've got abundance and I've got new beginnings. And therefore, time limit, though, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you and say I really can't give you a time frame, because it does really depend on COVID. If I was to remove COVID out of the scenario and look and hear and what Spirit is telling me, I would actually say to you, just on the other side of Christmas, that you'd be moving. But I want to pull that back and say, do you know what? I'm actually not happy with that answer, because if COVID still continues, and the hype of COVID, I want to say, continues, then you wouldn't be able to do it, because you wouldn't be able to really go looking. So I need to kind of go, do you know what? Everything's there in the making, but I can't actually give you a time frame on it. If I was fake, I could say anything, but I'm not, because I'm too, I have too much integrity. But the writing's on the wall. I know that sounds like cliche, but the writing's on the wall for you to do it. And the want and the desire is there to do it, but the timing right now, it's almost like an impossibility to do it right at this point. But it will be, like, as soon as some of the hype comes down a bit with COVID, and you're actually allowed to, what I hear is allowed to spread your wings to go on a search, then things will start to move, because it's only then, and it's not very long after you start to search, that you actually see, and I want to say you actually see two places that you I'm going to be really, not really bold, but it's funny for me to say that you're going to fall in love with two almost straight away, but two of them seem to have the area span that you want, but one of them has a better outlook than the other. Spirit says it's up to you whether you take note of the outlook or not. My nan has jumped in and said the outlook would be so much more peaceful for you to enjoy on certain days. So that's her little bit added into it. Okay. So I hope that helps. So let me know. Hello, Tinker. Tinker's joined. Hello. There's quite a few of you have joined. Can't keep up with the comments. Jenna, hello. Hello, my friend. Thank you for joining. If everyone can like and share the page, so others can maybe get some, some guidance out of somewhere on it, that'd be fantastic. It's all about sharing the love. and we do like to share the love as such. I'm just going to, sorry, bear with me a sec. I'm just going to scroll down and see if there's anything as a matter of urgency. Only because I just have a feeling about something tonight, and I know if I see a particular message which belongs to that feeling, I would have to jump on that because it's what I hear from spirit, something that needs to be solved. I don't know who it belongs to, but spirit jumped into it quite quickly, and I've been hearing it for about 20 minutes now. So excuse me if I actually have to scroll at times to have a quick look at that, because there's lots of comments coming up. Tinker, my friend. Now, what I need to say a little bit to you. I mean, with respect, because I'm with respect. I want to say congratulations on conquering. There's some things that have gone on that you have overcome. There's some things that have gone on that I want to say held you back for a little bit. But when you took the reins, you decided to go, do you know what? I'm either going to sink or swim, but this time I'm choosing not to sink, if that makes sense. So part of what Spirit is saying is that because you chose to swim and not sink, they will reward you at the end of it. And by that, I want to say to you that there's a project that you've been trying to do for a very long time, and part thereof, and I want to probably take it back 2 or 3 years, part thereof back then, you really felt like you were sinking. And I think at one point you really thought that you were almost near the bottom, if that makes sense. And please, I do say everything with my heart, and I do say everything with deep respect. But it feels like when you thought that you were sinking so much, you didn't think there was a way out. But somewhere along the line, you found that way out, and the inner warrior in you kind of went, you know what? I need to keep going. There's something that still there's some part of me that wants me to keep going, and I'm not going to give up because I'm stronger than what people are saying that I am. And I think a lot of it was people were saying certain things, but parts of me wants to say that your heart took on some of those things, and then your heart kind of, and you kind of were fighting with yourself. But at the end of the day, I believe that you've come out the other side of that, but you still have questions and doubt about yourself. And with a little bit of that doubt comes a little bit of insecurity. But I want to say there's a bit of confusion in here. It's like sometimes you want to say to yourself, no, I've got this. And other times you go, oh, no, I haven't. I'm starting to sink again. Come back to the other positive side of thinking, because at the end of the day, you're going to achieve what you want to. It's just taking longer than it should. And I think that's because there's been this doubt that creeps in, and it sets you back a little bit. And when you set back a little bit, you kind of, how do I say it? You kind of come to a standstill. And when you come to that standstill, you actually don't know whether to take which side or the other. So you can kind of sit in that mode, whether it's for a day or whether it's for a week. You kind of sit in that mode, and sometimes you're forced to sit in that mode, and I think you'll make sense of that. But it's when you kind of kick yourself up the backside, you realise that the end of that tunnel is just over there, and that you will come out the other side of it. And more so, I want to say to you that sometimes you have to lose something to gain something. So if that makes sense to you, please let me know, and I'd appreciate your comments on that. That'd be great. Thank you. And I'm going to come back again. I mean, I know you'll all get sick of me saying it, but if you please like and share this page, then others on other pages, whether it's your own page or a group page, whatever the case may be, start a watch party if you like, because some people who don't want to talk on here or don't want to have it aired on here get guidance because they're listening to a reading for somebody else. Okay. Let me see. Okay, Deirdre, I'm not going to pop your question up, but I'm just reading it. if there is sage your house. Sage it probably at least, if that's the case, 2 or 3 times the first week, and then once the second week, and then see how you go. I don't believe that person is actually stopping the sale of the house. I believe people are talking about it when they shouldn't be, but just sage the house so you can, that will shift the energy inside the house where others won't feel the coldness. If that makes sense to you. So grab yourself some sage, get like a pretty thick one where it will last you a couple of times, and do it a couple of times. That'd be great. Okay. Renee, I've read you. Okay. Hello, my gorgeous one. Will it be good news? Look, I don't see any particular issue with it, to be quite honest. I want to say to you that, like, I'm not a medical intuitive. I don't claim to be, but I do pick up on medical things. I just don't claim it to be one of my specialties. But what I feel with you, that there's certainly a lot of, even though it's a colonoscopy, there's certainly a lot of, I would say, up in the chest area, a lot of bloating and a lot of, what I get, and I just got it there, was a bit of reflux. And it seems that has started the little role of, what's wrong? Is there anything wrong? I need to go get checked. And I think the doctor is just doing something that's very, pretty standard. I don't feel that there's anything, I just don't feel there's anything pressing there. I will say to you that there's probably a handful of polyps that have been removed, but I don't see them. I see them as empty ones, and I don't see anything, partaking from that. And I feel like there's a bit of, with respect, there's probably been a bit of extra worry on it, mainly because he has had other symptoms, and but yeah, I think everything will be absolutely fine because I'm not hearing anything, untowards that. In actual fact, you should get the results back pretty soon, next week. So I hope that helps you, and please let me know. Keep in touch and let me know about that. Okay, Kath, do you have any messages for me? Okay, let me have a look. I have to laugh when a card is drawn that talks about travel, considering that we can't travel really anywhere currently. I just think that's funny when I get a message like that. I was talking with a lady in Singapore today. I was doing a reading for a lady in Singapore, and all the cards that came out in one instance was all about traveling, and I just had to laugh and thinking, I have to reshuffle and whatever, and they all came out again. So it was persistent in virtually saying that travel, pardon the pun, travel is on the cards, but it's something that she has to look, into the future with. And I get the same with you as well. There's something that you've had your eye on something for a while where you really want to do something. And I want to say that you're probably really ticked off that COVID has said that you can't. Because I think you had something pretty special in mind. It will take place in due course. And again, if anyone is just joining, like I can't answer questions on when COVID is going to finish, because it's an active virus. No one, I said the last week the same thing. The famous John Edwards can't even answer that. Because it's an active thing, and it depends on a multitude of things before we can get it under control. However, it has disrupted many, many lives, and travel is a main thing. And everybody on here that actually has the travel bug and wants to travel, please stop saying to yourself that you're ticked off with COVID because you can't travel, because that's putting negativity in yourself every single day because you can't do something. I know you can't, but if you say something different, like, I want to travel and I will get there when the time's right, because that's just more of a protection thing to you, to keep you excited about travel. But if you say things like, oh, bloody COVID stopping me from travel and I hate it, that's actually putting negativity into you. So then your energy source becomes negative and becomes cold. Therefore, things in your life that have got nothing to do with travel ended up going cold and end up not happening. And then it seems to spiral where you think everything is COVID's fault. So, it's about reinventing or rechanging the way you think about it. and I say all that with the greatest respect, because it's upset a lot of lives. But in hindsight, your travel plans will take place when it's safe for you to do so. If we all remember, bombs and stuff in Bali and all that sort of thing, you weren't allowed to travel then for reasons of your own safety. That was put in place then. So when these sorts of things happen, then it was a case of, well, I'll travel when it's safe. And that's the kind of attitude that you have to take now. And Kath, with you, I just think that also too, like with your work, it seems like part of your work has been put on hold as well. You're not doing everything that you normally do with your work because somehow COVID has affected that. And I feel with you that you're feeling quite stuck, and I don't want to use the word anxious, but it's more about some anger is building up inside of you, and questions. You have many questions and a lot that hasn't been answered to date. And I also want to say to you, there's probably a lot of questions about future stuff that you need answered, but here isn't the right forum for it. If you want to contact me, my website is available for bookings and so forth, which is Mystique, MSTIQUE.net. Go on there and, and maybe we need to do something there, because there's some underlying things with you that I feel that need to be brought to the surface and healed, and so just so you can move forward on a few things. That's all. Nothing that's life threatening or anything like that. It's all good. Hey Janelle, I haven't seen you for a very long time. I hope you're well, keeping out of trouble. Maybe that's why I mentioned Bali. You're a bit of a Bali hopper that loves to spend half the year in Bali and half the year in Sydney. I'm sure you'll be very ticked off that you can't go, but look at it in a different light, my love. You will get there, just not right now. Just not right now. No problem, Paula. My pleasure. Anna Marie, do you see a new address for my family? Okay. It's a bit of a pattern evolving tonight. Okay. The answer I want to say to you is yes. However, I don't see it for 6 to 8 months. But what I want to say to you is you will get it for the right price. There seems to be something, negotiations that have, at first they seem quite stale, but then there's something that triggers someone to say something a little bit different, and bang, all of a sudden it seems to be on point. Because Spirit is saying that, if you keep at it, you will win. It's something very clear that they're saying, if you just keep at it, you will win. So that to me tells me something that's either an auction or something that on paper that you want to beat down the price. Henceforth, I would say to you, keep looking. I mean, now's not the right time to buy out of area as such, but it is the right time to have a look if you want to stay in the same sort of same sort of state, same sort of vicinity. But I actually want to say that it's something bigger than what you have now, and you've had your eye on changing things and having, I want to say, like having a different kitchen and bedroom plan. I don't know why Spirit said that. That seems quite weird, but it seems like you already in your head have plans for a particular kitchen and plans for a particular bedroom, whether that's a master bedroom or something or other, I don't know. But it seems to be that there's some plans in place, but you haven't been able to explore the possibilities of actually doing it. Spirit says go for it, but Spirit says don't be tempted too easily at certain things. Stand back and smell the roses, and don't look as excited, especially if it is an auction. Don't look as excited when you start bidding, because if you sit back a little bit, then it'll be better for you in the long run. So I hope that helps you, and let me know how you go. That'd be fabulous. And again, please like and share the page, because when we do that, it can help many others in many different pages, whether you're sharing it on your own page or sharing it to a group, or even if you're having a watch party, all that sort of stuff is very, very welcomed, because, yeah, other people on other pages, whether if they can't watch it live or they can't comment live, something in a reading for someone else may trigger something in them and give them guidance at the same time. So it's always very nice if you can do that. So I'd appreciate it if you could all that are on here right now can like and share the page to wherever, as I said, your own pages or somewhere else. That'd be fantastic. Really brings light and help to many others in this world, especially in the in the times that we're sort of like, I got it present. Lupe Rodriguez, thank you very much for joining. I'd be interested to know what nationality that is, if you wouldn't mind letting me know. If you want to comment again on the page, just so I know. Very, very attractive and enduring photograph that you have. So welcome to the show. And yeah, look, thank you for sharing too. I've only just actually read your actual wording. Thank you for that. Now, with you, my love, I want to say to you that there is a man in the mix. There is a man in the mix that I want to say is older than you, but his appearance doesn't show that he's older, if that makes sense. His appearance to me is quite striking, but also too, there's a mountain, and Spirit is telling me there's a mountain of knowledge in his brain. So much so that when he speaks, he has this demure about him that he's strong, he's confident. And getting a bit excited about it myself, actually, because he just, like, he can't. Spirit's wonderful when they show me these things. I've kind of got to go, oh, okay, get myself out of it. But it's like it's like you already know him. But I want to say to you, if you're scared of speaking to him, please speak to him. Please speak up. Please let him know that, how do I say this? Your happiness, your kindness, your open heart, you need to express some of this stuff in front of him. And if you don't know him already, I actually want to say to you, because he's been shown to me in a suit, and because his attire and even like his briefcase everything is, it's almost like his briefcase and his shoes match for some unknown reason, but very, very striking. If you haven't come across this gentleman right now, I need to tell you to be in a busy building with a lift that goes to about 15, 16 floors. Now, what that is, I have no idea. Spirit throws these things at me, and it means nothing to you, but I need to throw it out there because that's what they're telling me. So if you work in a building that has that, I'm not telling you to ride the lift all day, but probably ride it more often than you do now, because that's the only thing I can kind of put with that. But it's kind of a good thing, because it's like, if you don't know him, he's kind of there. But you need to kind of look for this striking man. His hair it's almost like his hair is not out of place. And that's not to say he's got a big ego or he's anything like that. It's more about he's a man that takes pride in who he is, and he takes pride of his presentation, and that's made him so successful because he does take pride in what he does. So Spirit's just throwing that at me really bizarrely, but I also want to say that he has a really beautiful, sensitive side to him, and you bring that out even more when you start talking to him, because it's like you're someone that he's wanted to meet for a while, if that makes sense. It's a matter of now being open and releasing some old stuff to kind of go, I want to welcome the new. But if you do know a man like that, make yourself known to him even more. But if not, it is this lift type scenario that I keep seeing, that either he works in this building and works on the 15th or 16th floor or something, and has to come in and out of that quite often. But yeah, that's what spirit showed me. So I need to show that to you. But yeah, I hope that has given you some sort of guidance. And if you can let me know where you're from, let me know your nationality, and please let me know how that goes, because I'd be now really interested to find out, how that goes. That'd be fantastic. Because because yeah, it came through very, very loud and clear, and I kind of went, oh wow, okay, pretty loud and clear is what I got there. Okay, so there seems to be a lot of comments coming through. I do try and do everything in order, so please don't feel that I'm missing you. I'm trying to do everything in order as they come through. Please like and share the page so it gets to more people, so we can get more people that maybe get some guidance out of it. That'd be great. Lynn, oh my goodness, of course you will be. I'm so sorry that you've been in pain. I'm so sorry that the op, I want to say the op probably went longer than anticipated. And I think there was, I'm not here to scare you at all, but I think there was some hiccups through it. And those hiccups, I want to say to you, has probably delayed some of your recovery to a point, but they're kind of good hiccups. I know that sounds ridiculous, but they're kind of good hiccups that needed to happen for them to, I don't know how this makes sense, for them to have seen something else so they could fix something else. But I want to say to you, yeah, your recovery will be absolutely fine. It will just take a little bit longer. And Spirit says, please don't overdo it, and please don't get to your I'm okay mode and try and get up too soon to do certain things, because you'll only undo some of the things that that you'll end up wrecking some stuff. So please don't do that, Lynn. They worked hard, and you've waited a long time for it. So yeah, just give yourself a break and do what you're told for once, because there seems to be a bit of a stubborn I'm okay streak with you. But yeah. Marianne, thank you ever so much. I can relate to that accurately. Thank you so much, Marianne. I appreciate that feedback. It's always, I'm blessed and always empowered when I can do what I do and help so many at the same time, which is why I keep batting on about liking and sharing the page. It's because other people get something out of it, and other people, especially in these times, other people need some things like that. So thank you so much for your feedback. I do really appreciate it. Okay, so let's move on. I've done Tinker, done Maz. Okay, I have this lovely person here. Sharon, are there any messages from my dad tonight? Oh, there seems to be a lot of the male energy around, isn't there? I mean, my dad is in my ear. After I spoke to my beautiful sis Pip, my brother was through loud and clear as well as, and he doesn't often sit with me through readings. He normally just annoys me when I'm trying to sleep. God bless my brother. But he's actually standing with my dad tonight. I've actually got two dads, and both of them are with me. And isn't that funny? I've got two dads. Maybe explain that another night. But yeah, I have both of them here, and I have my gorgeous Nan as well. She's the softer side of the men that come through. But yeah, and if your loved one is not coming through, my spirit guides generally go and find them and have a chat and bring through whatever they have, which is always a really nice thing. My Nan often goes and holds other spirits' hands and says, come on, come forward, it's all safe. Beautiful, the way she brings spirits to me, and a lot of spirits just come on their own. So it's all good. I'm just blessed that I'm able to connect. Now, Sheraton, what I want to say to you is that Dad is saying to me that, oh, okay, I need you to correct me if I'm wrong, but Dad is saying to me that you're hurt and you're angry, but you're angry with yourself. You couldn't change. You couldn't change in the last 48 hours of him being here. You couldn't change what was going on. He went peacefully. He transitioned quite well. Absolutely no pain, but saying that you're you're angry and you're blaming yourself for something. In that last 48 hours that he was here, there was nothing you could have done to change anything. Nothing. Oh, look, my heart is even upset as well, like with you, because there's just nothing that could have been done. You, I guess the what answers you might be looking for is that you thought others weren't doing enough. But I hear that they were. I hear that they were, and he knew when it was his time to release himself. Is what he's saying, but he's kind of bringing forward that you're hurting because you think that you could have done more, and there's just nothing more that you could have done. Like he's showing me that he's fine. He's got his hands out to hug you, to say, please stop. Like, please stop blaming yourself. Please stop holding on to any guilt. Whatever guilt you have, stop. And he's kind of getting, not angry, but he's kind of getting upset himself to think that, you're suffering. And there's times where he just wants to hug you. He just wants to come through and give you. I mean, if I can give you a virtual hug where you can feel him, then please accept that as feeling it from Dad, because he just, I don't know your age, but he seems to be saying that you're his little princess. And it doesn't matter how old you are, you're always going to be his princess. Nothing will change that. Nothing in the world is going to change that. And just the love that he has is just hugs, and stop feeling so guilty. Sharon, please let me know how you go with that. I hope it helps. I hope you can release some of that anger, because when you do, you'll actually see a few things around you with a bit more clarity. And I say that with the greatest respect. So please let me know how you're going. If you need some extra help, again, let me know that as well. Yeah, it's all good. Very, very gentle soul. But I want to say, when he was in this realm, that sometimes people thought he was a bit harsh, but he it wasn't that he was harsh. It just that he said things straight. There was kind of no pussyfooting around with him. So, but yeah, good man. So thank you for asking me to connect with him. Beautiful soul. Tracy, I'm very well, thank you. Should this new business go ahead? Well, you, my friend, with respect, you know the answer to that very well. However, I understand that you need to hear it from somebody else. And I want to say to you that there's a few things that you may not have thought of. I don't know whether their spirit comes through and says to me they're little tidbits. So there's something that you may be finalizing, maybe your tidbits. Why are we talking to? Okay, something about the design. Have you got all your design ready? Have you got banners? Is everything right? Because it seems to be that something is missing. And I know that seems trivial, because the business is so, the business is normally premises and finance and all that sort of stuff, and that's all okay. It's going to go through. But Spirit is saying, also think of the small things. Make sure all the small things are in place so everything can go at once. It's almost like showing me an opening and something's missing. So therefore, I want you to kind of go backwards and put all the big things about going ahead, put those on a bit of paper on that side and go, yep, they're all done and dusted. Now look at the smaller things. It seems something on the smaller scale of things is not quite right. There's some sort of unevenness on that side that I keep getting this sense of there's something missing. So if that all makes sense to you, just have a look at that, because I just feel that there's something going on. And also, and now I look at the cards, and also too, there's I want to say to you that you were thinking of doing it one place, and all of a sudden you thought you were ready for that and you changed your mind. So there's been some changes in your mind going on with it. Please don't doubt yourself. Gut feelings are 99.9% correct all the time, not half the time, every single time. And there's part of me that wants to say that I know you're being a bit cautious and maybe even a bit, if I may say the word shy, but sweetheart, there's nothing to be shy about. There's everything to gain from this and certainly nothing to lose at this point, because I can't see any of that apart from Spirit saying some of the little things aren't quite all ready yet. So you may have missed something there. So if you just want to go back and have a look at that, that'd be great. And let me know how you go. I appreciate you jumping in and asking me some questions. Wow. It's we're all getting there. We're all getting there. Let me have a look. As I said, I'm trying to do everything in order, but I just keep scrolling down to just see how many there is to get through and how many people are maybe saying the same question that, you know, I may have missed earlier in the piece. Jacqueline, I know when I saw you before, I just said we had been cruising together. Let me have a look what's going on with you. Jacqueline was part of we did 2 cruises 2 years apart, where there was 100 of us, both times, 100 of us on what was a YBF cruise, and YBF stands for Your Best Friend, and it's a makeup line in America, and owned by the beautiful Stacey, and 100 women with tiaras and red feather boas on a cruise ship. Extraordinary. It was the best fun, though, the best fun on both those cruises. So I have very fond memories of that. And I think when I scrolled down, I actually saw Jenny Bain here as well. If you're still online, Jenny was also one of our cruiseites, and she's probably I want to call her a professional cruiser because she's been on so many, and she was a ball of fun. So Jenny, love to you. Great times. But we can't go cruising now either, can we, because of COVID? But anyway, we'll get back to it at some point. Jacqueline, now, again, with greatest respect, because you know me, I do say everything. I do all this line of work I do with my heart. I have no judgment at all. And I do say everything with the greatest respect, but it seems with you, I have to be honest, something I need to probably go back 10 years. Something with you seems to have hurt you and upset you. And I know you've worked on it, because Spirit tells me that you've worked on it, but part of it is still there. You seem to be hanging on to whatever this is. You seem to be hanging on to it, not being able to move forward with it in the best way. Like, and I want to say to you that it's not that you've put your life on hold, because excuse me, you have moved greatly forward through a lot of things that have happened in your life, but it seems to have been this one thing from 10 years ago that's kind of stuck in your gut a bit. And it's not about revenge, it's not about jealousy, it's not about hate, it's nothing to do with that whatsoever. But something's happened to someone where you have felt either useless or something's been taken away from you. And the hurt from that seems to go quite deep, where, you know, the cards I have and what Spirit is saying is that as much as you have tried and probably successfully at some point done some great healing on yourself, there's parts of it that it's embedded into you so deep that you actually probably don't even know it's still there. But with it still being there, it's kind of making things happen in your life that repeat. And when something bad happens and it's kind of feels like repeat mode, you kind of look at it and go, well, shit, why me again? And when you say things like that, it's because it's something has come up again that's almost the same thing that's happened, like, 2 years prior or 18 months prior or something to that effect. And it's happened again because there's still some angst, there's still some hurt, there's something stuck in your gut where you haven't released that properly, is what I want to say. When you go through another healing phase, if you need a hand with that, please sing out, because there's some healing techniques that I teach that go so deep that enables you to bring up a lot of stuff from past and release it. I mean, that's part of that tattoo that I have on my arm. I don't know, I can't get the camera right. Acknowledge, accept, release with the transformation butterfly. You know, that is all about a healing process. I mean, it's 3 words, but it's about a healing process that I teach people. And it enables you to be able to sit with yourself and bring up everything from past that has, you know, upset you, hurt you, ticked you off, or someone who's done something, all this sort of stuff. It helps you bring up the lot and then spend a couple of months releasing it one bit at a time, and then you have that tool for life. Sweetheart, if you need that sort of help, please get in contact with me and we'll do that. Because to me, when something is deep rooted and you think that you've got it all out and there's something that's still there and I'm feeling it, then it means that will kind of, those repeat things will still happen in your life. So yeah, if that resonates with you, let me know. But also to excuse me, just a little bit of work on that, and let me know how you go. And I appreciate you being here this evening. It's nice to see your name. Hey, I'm flying out here. Who's this one for? Young Kim. Hello, my baby. Does my dad have any messages for me, please? Yeah, again, it's the males, isn't it? A lot of people lost their dads, and my dad's saying yes because dads are all important. Of course, he's going to say that in my ear, isn't he? Good old dad, police officer from way back. Wow, I got some stories about him. Anyway, as much as he would like to take center stage with that, we won't give him that center stage. Kim, look, I want to say to you, my love, Dad is saying that there's, how do I put this? A hard one. I don't know why you're feeling, I don't want to bring COVID into it, but you're feeling quite restricted on something where you feel that you can't do something. And Dad is saying to me, his wording, stop the rubbish because you can. So when he kept saying stop the rubbish you can, I kind of went, what does he mean by that? Like, you know, where is he going with that? So there's something that you want to do, and something that I think that will be wonderful for you to do, but you seem to think that you can't. And whether COVID is restricting you from doing it, look, that's okay if that is the point. But Dad is saying it's something else in you that's not making it happen. And Dad can be quite strong with his wording and quite adamant with what he's got to say, because my dad's trying to pat him on the back and give him a beer, for God's sake. My dad's always giving everybody a beer. But it's I don't know why you think you can't do it. Because with you, if you put your mind to something, you can. And look, I've got a card here that is directing me to high anxiety. And with you, if high anxiety is an issue, then again, some meditation and some calming things. And, you know, you have some beautiful little dogs. And I know you're engrossed in your animals all the time, but it's almost like get more calm if the anxiety of whatever this thing is causing you too much drama. But Dad is saying, believe in yourself and go and do it, because you know you can. And he's saying he knows you can, but you're just sitting back going, I think it's too much drama. I don't think I can do it, and maybe it's not the right time, and all these sort of things. And that's what you're putting into yourself to virtually talk yourself out of it. So Dad is kind of saying, shush up, and, you know, move that forward, and it will all be good at the end of the day. Okay, let me know how you feel with that, and let me know how you go. Okay. So much. Drawn to this one. Do you see any positive coming to my family? We are in desperate need of a bigger home and car. Okay, Chantel. With the greatest respect, even your wording of desperate need of a bigger home and car, take the word desperate out of it. Start manifesting it in a different way, in just wanting and embracing a bigger home and a bigger car, or a nicer car, whichever way you want to do it. It's mainly because, and I say that for a reason, and you may not say it in any other of your conversations with yourself, but in saying it here, if you do happen to use that word every other time you're putting it out there for spirit or the universe to respond, it's putting a negative on it. Yeah, it's the way it sort of like is being put out there. It's kind of like, asking for something that is never going to happen. And wow, I'm always getting the same cards with you as I got last one. I've just shuffled the bejeebers out of them. There seems to be drama within the household. I want to say, actually, I want to rephrase that from the household. It's like there's drama within the family. There's people in the family that are virtually saying you can't do this, you can't do that, and they're not giving you reasons why they think that you can't. But I want to say that you can, because part of me and what Spirit is saying is that you're allowing their talk to come into you. And when you're allowing their talk to come into you, you're starting to believe that. And therefore, that's probably why you're sort of saying, I'm in desperate need of it. Stop listening to everybody else. Sit back with yourself and start meditating and manifesting. Start visualizing this bigger home. If you find a picture, like not just any picture, if you happen to find a picture or even draw one, whichever the case may be, but if you happen to find a picture that maybe has like in the house, it has the kitchen that you want, or the lounge room that you want, or a particular painting that you want, start collecting these and putting them together as if you're building your own home. I know that sounds a little bit silly and a little bit childish, but trust me when I say, when you do that, it's kind of like the vision boards in a way. They're little bits here and there, and then from there it'll show you what you're actually desiring. And because you're putting it out there and you're collecting these things and you're putting it together, that desire of what you want is going out there in a positive way, rather than the desperate need of a bigger home. And I know things are cramped, but things are okay. And I guess COVID has highlighted like the need to have a bit more space. But it's Spirit is saying, put some pictures together, embrace what you're looking for, embrace what you want in your life, and it will come. But it won't come for probably about 9 months. 9 to 10 months is the figure that I get shown. But that gives you time to really start thinking about, like, the areas that you want and how you want it kind of set out. And also too, I'm being told that you're a bit fussy with colour. I don't know where that came from, but it's like your vision of what you want is normally not driven by certain materialistic things, but Spirit seems to say that certain things have to be a particular colour. So if that's the case, then you work around that. It's as simple as that. You work around that. Okay. I hope that helps you, and let me know how you go. Okay. Guys, if we can like and share the page so other people can get, that would be good. I must have said something earlier. She's which I think is funny. She's put up, don't think anyone will complain about seeing it more. Oh, thank you. That is so sweet. Very sweet. Okay, let me have a look. I've got to start saying hello to a few people, because I'm not saying hello to people. Thomas, thank you. I will try and get to you. Erica, Julie, my girlfriend Julie, she's a soul sister. Little treasure that she is. Thank you for your compliment. Oh, I love some of you people, seriously. Oh, I try hard, Julie. No, I don't really try hard at all. As I said in the beginning, I am who I am. People either love me or hate me. It's as simple as that. I've already done that. I've already done that. Oh, there's my friend Jenny. I was talking about her earlier. Cruising. Fun lady. Fun lady. Let me have a look for you, Jen. Okay. There's a situation going on with you that I want to say you've probably taken the wrong way. You've probably got a bit angry about a couple of things going on that unfortunately can't take. What am I hearing? Something can't take its role, or something can't take place. It's creating you a bit of angst. Take a bit of anger out of it and kind of go, do you know what? It's probably not exactly the right time for that to go on. What I want to say to you though also too is that, sometimes of late, and I actually want to take it back probably between 6 and 8 months is what I'm being shown, is that at times that you're feeling, please, I do say this with respect. Look, I know you have friends, but at times in the last 6 to 8 months, it's like that you have been feeling a bit lost, that you've been feeling not necessarily anxious, but feeling lost, feeling that, I don't want to be as strong to say the word abandoned, but lost and alone at times. Just pick up the phone, my love. Don't be scared of, just ringing someone and saying hi. I mean, I know that sounds a bit feeble, but if you're feeling lost, or feeling that something hasn't gone your way, or there's an issue with whatever this understanding of a situation is what come out first. If there's clarity that needs to be had on something, please get that clarity, rather than having all this stuff kind of go on up here and go, I kind of don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what I've got to do. I don't know who to talk to. Break that down a little bit. We do one thing at a time. Because the more, I know you have a really, really kind heart, and the more you have like 10 things to do, 10 things don't need to be done in the exact same moment and the exact same day, if that makes sense. So more of that is kind of going back to a bit of structure and going, well, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that, but giving yourself a bit of a plan so you don't get so overwhelmed or so much going on in here. And again, I say that with respect. And there seems to be something that changes coming for you that, and it's got to do with this little this understanding thing that you're not understanding why something's been delayed, or something's been put off, or something's not happening now that you want to happen. It kind of comes through a bit like that. Don't allow that to manifest into something of anger, or something that's that you're not happy about. More about, it's actually not the right time for that particular thing to happen, but it will happen. And when it does, what I hear is only good things come out of it. So it's almost like you've waited for a long time for some good, and when it happens, it's a bit of a process. But yeah, after whatever that process is, things will get better, things will get easier, you'll feel better within yourself, and you'll come back to your bouncy, bubbly self that we all know and love. So I hope that resonates with you, Jen. If you let me know, that'd be great. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate the support. That'd be good. Okay. How are we going for time? That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to just come down here a bit. Thanks, Slav. I make you laugh. It's pretty funny. I'll get to you a bit later. A lot of mediumship ones coming through tonight. It's beautiful that you're asking, or you're trusting in me to connect. I do appreciate that. I need to have a look at this. Thank you. Yes, you're correct. My dad's death was rough. Thank you for keeping his death private. I hope he's dead from his death. Okay. Sheridan, I understand. I really do understand. And If there's anything I can help you with privately, please either inbox me or go to my website. We might need a session or two to get through that. But yeah. Okay. He is a very loving soul, and I'm so glad it helped you. I know the love is there, and it makes me sad that you're so sad. But when he came through, it was such a beautiful moment for me to connect with him, and I had pleasure in passing that on. And if it has helped you, yeah. You're almost writing things immediately after I'm saying things. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful soul again, and thank you for trusting in me to bring him through. It was an honor to bring him through, if that makes sense to you. And as I said, if I can help with anything else, please get in contact with me. Okay. Who have I get? High mistake. I feel drained with the weight of the world drowning me for some years now. Is there light at the end of the tunnel moving forward? Anthony, my gorgeous soul, you're like again, I say this with respect, you're like a brother to me, in the sense of, I feel your pain a lot. And, I did see you, probably almost a year now or something, or it's at least 10 or 11 months or something rather. And I feel you often because you have a kindred soul, and I've always felt very connected to you. And for anyone, I have known you a very long time, in and out my life. We always haven't been connected for many reasons. Your life, my life, busyness, all that sort of stuff. But you are a soul that I know is loving, is genuine, and your heart is so big, but your heart is empty. And I do say, I am speaking to you with such respect. And it seems that so much went on. I probably want to go back, to be honest, probably 12 years, where I do know. I don't even know how long ago it is now, because I really don't know. But I know your marriage broke up, and there were some little kiddies involved, and I know you were hurt from that. And I know you would have been hurt deeply, because I vaguely remember it was not very, very nice. But I want to say to you that probably a year or two after that, you were still feeling all that hurt. You still felt like, one of your wording tonight, that there was no light at the end of the tunnel. But things have changed. You are getting on with it. But there's always these, you get to a point where things are good, and then it seems like something else happened, and someone else kind of cuts you at the knees again, if that's the way Spirit says it, so I have to say it like that. I know that kind of doesn't make sense, but it's like you come so far, and then bang, something else gives you another nudge. And I think that's why you can't seem to get on top of things. And I know in hindsight, it would be easy for me to say that you're a private person, although you've come through on a live feed, and which is not so private. But generally, you are a private person, and you don't often put your hand up for help. Sweetheart, I really need to say to you that I know others would be there for you, but with all due respect, I would be here for you 24/7. My heart feels like that your heart is not as full as what it should be, because people think, I don't want to say people keep hurting you, but things keep happening, as I keep saying, that you go so far, and then whisker, something happens and something undercuts you again. But at the end of the day, I just want to draw some more cards, because the cards that I drew actually don't even make sense. Spirit have thrown me a bit of a curly one for you, probably because of my connection with you, that Spirit wants to kind of just throw a lot of things at me with you. But yes, you know, again, there is so much sadness that can be changed into happiness if you, with respect, if you allowed me to kind of come in and do some healing with you, come in and not necessarily remove, because you can't change the past. So the past is, you know, that's part of this, you know, acknowledge, accept, release thing. You can't change the past. The past has happened, but it's how we acknowledge that it has taken place. But I want to kind of sit with you and allow your mind to go back and bring some of these things forward. And I will do it in such a safe environment that it would be vulnerable for you, but you can bring it forward, and I can do healing on you at the same time to allow certain things. Because with you, it seems like this undercutting thing is because there's parts of you that have been embedded so deep that it's like I normally say that women do this quite well when there's things that go in their life. They like layering a cake that goes on and on and on, and you just put one thing happens, you just put another layer on the cake and you deal with that one as well. But with you, there's some deep rooted things there that have kind of been like layering a cake, where you've dealt with one thing after the other, and it's kind of embedded in your, you know, deep in your gut, a lot of things from past, where little remnants of that is always there. So if you allow me to help you, I certainly will. I also need to say to you that there is surrounding you, you've put this wall up as well. And again, I say this with, you know, with respect. You've put this wall up as well, where it's very hard for you to let people in, because of you being this, you know, in general, this private person. But I also have a loving message from Mum, and she touches my heart. She is so beautiful. She touches my heart with, you know, you, and if I can say this, you know, you're her angel in disguise. You know, she is at peace, and she has the most beautiful smile, and I'm smiling because I can see her. She has them, and my voice is going because she's just embodying and engrossing me with this love and this heart that, you know, she wants to help heal you. She wants you to be okay. If you're okay, she knows she's okay even more so. But I need to say to you, well, I don't need to, but I'd like to say to you that Mum embraces you all the time. And there's a picture. She's showing me a picture. I don't know if it's in your lounge room or in your in like a little room before a bedroom or something. There's a, I don't know, a little offshoot or something where she's taking me. But you have this picture of her that has, and there's flowers to the right hand side. My God, I've never been, in all the years I've known you, I've never ever been to anywhere that you've lived. How funny is that? But where this picture is with the flowers, it seems to be that you seem to think that the vase is different, or something is different about nearly every time you want to sit and say hello to her. And she wants to say that's just her letting you know that she's there. And there's a problem with your stove, apparently. Mum's a great cook, and she loved cooking when she was younger, and she loved cooking throughout her life. She says you're not a bad cook, but she says there's something wrong with your stove, and I think that's just gorgeous that she's come in with that. So Anthony, you know, from my heart, bless you, and thank you very, very much for spending the time to come and join me here tonight. I hope that has helped, and if I can help you, let me know if it's helped, and if there's anything I can do, please also let me know about that as well. Anthony is beautiful. If anyone on here knows him, they know he has a heart of gold, and he's a very caring gentleman, and always, the entire time I've known him, a gentleman through and through. I have so much respect for him. Okay, let me go on. Okay. Okay, Amy. I'm also wondering if my wrist will come back with a positive or negative result from X-ray I had. Positive or negative for what? I don't see much in the way of, I see there's pain. I also see there's a lump. Actually, like if I want to, okay, so Spirit is directing me to my right arm, but to the right side of that right arm, if that makes sense. There seems to be something going on there where I want to say to you that if I, the wording's in the way, if I'm moving my wrist like this, it feels like it's broken. Like it feels like there's not the right. It's almost like there's not the right bone structure there or something. So I feel there's something going on in there. I don't think it's. I think it's quite fixable to what I hear. I don't think it's major, but it's causing you some grief, some anxiety, and of course it's causing you some pain. But I don't see it being anything major, and I dare say it can be fixed quite easily. Please be open to what they say, and if you're a bit worried about what they say, get a second opinion, because I'm hearing that the second opinion will be exactly the same as the first. But to ease your mind, just let someone else look at it at the same time. Okay. I hope that helps you. Oh, it just, I can't believe, time flies when you're doing these things. It's just, and you guys have just been so fantastic with jumping on with, so much. It's beautiful. Please like and share this page. I mean, if you share it to other pages or your own page, someone else will get something, wonderful out of some of the readings. So it would be lovely if you could do that. That'd be great. I'd appreciate that very much. Slav, my friend, I just wondering if I can have a love reading and what's coming up for me till the end of the year. Slav, my friend, Slav was one of our wonderful viewers on Psychic TV. He's still connected as a viewer to Psychic TV, although we've been off air for a little while. Psychic TV is a wonderful show that, there's a lot of us psychics that are on there that have been on there for quite some time. I think I'm 7 years now, but we love being there. We love helping others, but unfortunately, COVID has really put us out of the studio altogether at this point. A lot of us are on the phone lines on Psychic TV, which is 24/7. If you go on there, ptvaustralia.com.au, my PIN number is 9809. Maybe I should put that in the comments later. I used to have set days when I was on, but now we're doing so much. My days are a little bit scattered until I get some further structure involved. But I generally try and get there in some days and some evenings. But of course, if anyone's got major stuff where we need one-on-one session, please come through to either inbox me on my Facebook pages or go through to my website, Mystique, MSTIQUE.net, and book in for a session if you've got something major going on that needs, a lot more than this, I would say. Because I'm always here to help people, and it's my passion, and Mystique is my world in such. Now, Slav, I've got a number of cards with the swords, which I know you're not going to like. However, I do have to address it, and Spirit is saying that over time and for memory, God, I have to go back a few years with you. For memory, you're a person that does doubt yourself a lot. And when that doubt comes in, negativity creeps in. And at that point, you don't talk favorably about yourself so much. And it's in those times that I want to say to you that when you're out and about, because you're not happy with you, or you think there's something wrong with you, or that you feel that you're not good enough, you're actually displaying that to everybody else. And anyone that walks past you is bouncing off cold energy. And you don't even know your outer energy is cold because you feel okay, because you kind of don't know that that's what you're putting out there, but that's actually exactly what you're putting out there is cold energy. So anyone that walks by you or is near you in a cafe or whatever the case may be is feeling this cold energy. And I say that with respect. If I can grab hold of you and shake you sometimes, I would. I really would. Because with the swords, with out of 4 cards, 3 of them are swords, and it's all about you liking you. And I don't want you to stand in front of a mirror and say, oh my God, I love myself and I'm so fantastic. But kind of along that path without an ego, if that makes sense. And are you still in Melbourne or wherever? Or that way down wherever? Because if you are, of course, you're not going to be able to go out and enjoy any cafes or any, even getting near water or a lake or anything like that. You guys aren't allowed to do anything to that degree. So, yeah, it's not your timing with COVID. If you're still in that Melbourne area, excuse me, to be able to do that. But I want you to bear in mind to possibly do that little bit of extra work on yourself to understand that, that you do have a kind heart, and you're very generous in your time. You're very generous in getting to, like wanting to get to know someone. And now is probably not the right time, unfortunately. But when you come to liking yourself a bit more, the energy you'll give off is so warm, it's so inviting, and therefore, when I say multitude, I don't mean a multitude of people, fling at you and want to date you and all that sort of stuff, but a multitude of people are attracted to you, and that's male and female, where people will want to, go out and have a bit of fun with you. People will want to sit down and have a conversation with you. People will want to get to know you a bit more, and all those sorts of things can go on because you're giving off such great energy that people just want to absorb that. People want to be around you because you're good to be around. When you take this other road of when you feel that you're not good enough and, oh, nobody wants me and that's why I'm still single, when you go down that road, all you give off is bad energy, and it's cold, and it's a bit negative, and even a bit icy, and people aren't drawn to that. You can be very, very happy here, but if you're giving off cold energy, no one's going to be drawn to you, if that makes sense. So I actually want to say to you that if you're still in that Melbourne type area, then it's not going to be till after Christmas, come February, that you can be out and about freely to enjoy some of the outdoors, to go to a few different places. And I keep getting told, I don't think you're an art person, like an art deco type person, but Spirit is telling me that you need to kind of go to some art deco type places, and whether that's to view art on the wall, and that's where someone is going to sort of say, hey, how are you type thing, then that's where you need to kind of put a bit of focus on and kind of go, do you know what? I'm sick of being this person back here. I want to be the person in the forefront, and I want people to start knowing the real me. Come up with some of those changes, my love, and things will change for you. I can guarantee that, absolutely. So I hope that helps you, Slav. Please let me know how you go or how you're feeling with it. If anything feels a little bit wrong with you, please let me know. Because we can always sort something out, some other time. All right, Tracy, thank you so much for that. I thought it would, and because Spirit was showing me that very clearly, so I'm glad that helped you. Let me know like what it was though that was missing, because I'd be keen to know just what was happening there, because it was kind of like right in my face. So yeah, just let me know. That'd be great. I want to I can't find her message. I know I saw it there a while ago from Vicky. Okay, Vicky, I want to say to you that firstly, I want to say that Mum and Dad wrap their arms around you quite often, and I know you feel that, and I know at times what I would say, it brings you joy. Always knowing that Mum and Dad are there, and Mum and Dad seem to show you things, not necessarily when you least expect it, but they show you things when you're needing a little bit of a push in the right direction, or if something is, how do I say it, if something unjust has happened to you. It's almost like Mum and Dad show you they're still there, and they're still caring for you, even though, you know, they're not in this realm. I want to say to you that Mum gives the sweetest of hugs, but she, it's going to sound weird, she seems to be the hugger from the back. I don't know. I think you know, when she was here, she used to kind of walk behind you and just give you that squeeze hug, because that's what she's showing me here. But I also want to say to you that any frustrations that are going on right now, please try and put those to the back of your mind, because it's stopping you from focusing and being in control of some of the feelings that you're having of late. If that's the best way of saying that. Frustrations with you, it can make you, with all due respect, it can actually make you quite short with people, or it can also make you even come across as if you're mad. And therefore, when you're saying that, some people are taking a little bit of angst out of it, kind of going, well, what's up with her type thing. Because in general, you're a very loving person, you're a very kind person, you give anyone the shirt off your back. But I think there's some things that you'd like to be moving forward with, but unfortunately you can't. And I just think at times the frustration is getting a bit on top of you with that. So I'd probably ask that, you know, if you can, try and curb that frustration and maybe take it out on something else. Maybe, I know this sounds feeble, clean out another cupboard. Mum seems to say that you've been doing well at that, but there's more to be done. And for some unknown reason, she's telling me there's a cupboard in your bedroom. Where's she going with that? There's a cupboard in your bedroom, and it's like it's like a two-toned color something. And there's a drawer in there that you haven't touched for quite some time. There's something in that drawer that will surprise you. So I don't know what that is, but have a crack at that and go and see what that is. I'm sure you'll let me know. It would be wonderful if you could let me know, just so I can kind of get that bit out of my head. But she's saying it's something that you may not have been able to find for some time, but it will bring you some joy. So let me know how you go with that, because I feel that you will smile. I know you smile quite often. I'm not saying that you don't, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit of that. Mercy from my dad. I understood exactly what you were saying. My dad is also a police officer. Okay. Okay, that makes perfect sense then why my dad was offering him a beer. God love him. And thank you for your validation. That's, you know, it's I'm always honored to hear you know, everyone's validation or how they feel about a reading. Because, you know, as I said, this is my world. I love doing what I do for many reasons. I love connecting with spirit. There's many a myth out there that, you know, it's dangerous to be talking to spirit or dangerous to be working with tarot cards, all that sort of thing. Look, I've been doing this since I was 3 years old. I've been connecting with spirit since I was 3. You can see one of my other side that way. An award I have won last year. I'm a finalist again for this year's one, but it's unusual for the psychic industry to be recognised, anyone in the psychic industry to be recognised for business awards that have got nothing to do with the you know, metaphysical side of things. There are certain awards in the psychic world as such, but anything to do with like a normal business, but it's you know, your psychic stuff, we do get, you know, mocked and challenged and all that sort of stuff. So to win it last year was a huge honour for me, and I was also a finalist in the Australian most outstanding business in Australia for my Mystique business. So, you know, I'm very proud of those achievements, because, you know, we do get mocked. We do, you know, when we're younger, we suppress these things because of bullying and things like that. But when you're authentic and when you know you're doing good, and, you know, I do spend some of my, you know, private time, you know, doing community work for the New South Wales Police Force, as well as, you know, domestic violence victims and things like this, because, you know, people in situations like that, just, I've been there, done that, and there was nobody around to help me. And I'm a strong person, and I got through mine, and which is why community wise I give back to the domestic violence victims, because they really believe that their life has changed forever. It has in the first instance, but they'll always come through with it. They just need someone. When I say give them a bit of a push, I don't mean that literally, but it's like someone who truly understands, because I've been there. And if I was a person that we can all be a victim, but we can choose to be a survivor as well. And I love talking and teaching about the inner warrior, because the inner warrior, when you tap into her in your own system, she will bring you through nearly anything. But it's also too about believing in yourself and being able to push and learn with yourself to move forward on things. So I'm blessed to be able to again do what I do. Okay, let me see. I just saw one a minute ago. Lucinda, any messages from my mum in spirit? I don't think I've seen your name, Lucia, before, but welcome. And if anyone else is out there, if you can please like and share the page so other people can gain something out of some of these readings, that would be fantastic. Truly appreciate that. Okay. Okay, you've been on a bit of a roller coaster. I want to say there seems to have been a lot of ups and downs with you, and a lot of uncertainties, but I also want to touch on maybe some uncertainties with your own health, where you've questioned a few things. And as I said before, I don't proclaim to be a medical intuitive. However, spirit also lets me know certain things about medical, but I'm not an expert in the medical field as such. But spirit tells me that you have been on a bit of a roller coaster with your health. And at times I want to say to you that you thought nobody was listening. However, there was someone who listened, and there was someone who kind of got on top of it. And now things seem to be a bit smoother for you. But I also want to say that throughout that journey, seems to be a theme tonight where people are bringing negativity into themselves. Throughout that journey, not surprising if there was someone that wasn't listening to you or wasn't taking you seriously, that you felt like, not necessarily that you're making it up, but you felt like, why isn't people listening to me? Why aren't people helping me? And I think you went on a bit of a roller coaster journey to actually find the person that actually did. But when they did, sweetheart, things changed for you. There was almost like a lot of tests were done, or something happened where a lot of things were done, and all of a sudden answers to certain questions were resolved, is what I hear. But also, too, you also knew you were being put on the right track, if that makes sense. And from that point forward, it seems to, and I get told this, from this lady figure that in my ear, it's not my nan. So I'm thinking it may be your mother as well that's jumped in. But I have to say to you that the white flower is significant, but also too, like I have this pain, which I was I was having a bit of trouble swallowing while I was talking. I have this pain in my chest. So to me, on her passing, I don't think it was sudden as such, but I feel there was something either blocking her being able to talk to you, or a shortness of breath that was going on, because I just feel it a bit tight in the top part of my chest, where I feel like, if I take a deep breath, it will hurt a bit more. So I'm getting that sensation. And if that makes sense to you, please let me know. But I have to tell you that now you're on the right path. And this mother figure seems to be wanting to say to me that, I think that you thought you weren't going to go down the right path for a long time. And I think that's got to do with somebody not not listening to you, not giving you recognition for what you were saying and feeling about your own self. Because, it seems that when you went through that sort of scenario, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like when you go through that scenario, you tried to reach out to your mum in spirit, and you feel like that she wasn't listening either, but she was, because she's looking at me saying, I heard every word, I saw every tear, and the tears mean a lot, but please don't, sometimes when I connect with spirit, it gets a little bit emotional for me as well. But it's almost like, don't cry for me. I'll look over you forever. Talk to me when you want to, but there's no need for the tears. She understands that you're upset, but there's no need for the tears. And she's proud of you jumping some hurdles to get to where you are today, is what she's saying. And when someone can acknowledge that they've watched you jump some hurdles and come out the other side, that can only be like a really, really lovely thing. So, gold stars to mum, but also to gold stars to you for having the strength and the stability to keep on the path that you're doing. And again, yes, been some rough roads, but it's all good at the end of the day. So thank you so much for joining, and if you can let me know how that resonated with you, and just how you feel about that, that'd be great. Okay. Whew. So many. There's so many. I tried to get through everything. But yeah, my goodness, there is so much. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to pop this up. Thanks for your beautiful words. You're so right. The walls have been up. I'm very private and don't let anyone in. Time for changes. Mum was a great cook. Now rest pain-free and at peace. Like Anthony, you're very, very welcome. You're very much in my heart often. Please accept a virtual hug from me. I have been around. I've been around, yourself a long time, and I do love and respect you like a loving sister. And if I can politely say, when people say soulmates, they think it's soulmates in a sexual relationship or an intense relationship. I want to say to you, Anthony, if you're still watching, that I kind of, because I feel you quite often. That's more like of a soulmate connection where I tune into your heart, your feelings, and I feel them. And yes, I'm an empath, but with you, since I've been about 15, you will understand what I'm saying when I, that connection. And I loved catching up with you earlier in the year. I felt sorrow that night with you. But we had some great laughs, and I hope my company with you that night brought you some joy. And yeah, please lean on me whenever you need, and I'm always going to be around, my love. So don't ever hesitate, is what I want to say there. And I seriously appreciate you joining tonight. Oh, and Kim has said to you, Anthony, I remember Anthony's brothers and his mum. God bless you, Kim. Thank you for that. I'm sure Anthony would be very pleased to read that. Now, my beautiful soul sister, well, we're probably more than soul sisters, I would say. Now we have so much in common. So many things have happened in our lives that are almost exact. So I would probably I would trust Anina now in my life, but I would also say that if there was ever that tale of gypsy women traveling the countryside and being those soul sisters delivering good or delivering messages of love and support to anyone who needed it, that would be Danina and myself. A lot of respect for her, a lot of love, and yeah, we've been through some tough times, some great times, some funny times, some cruising times. She was my last cruise buddy. She'll always be my cruise buddy. Melanie, if you're watching, was also going to be a third cruise buddy this year, but that one's cancelled. We're not doing that one. But yeah, we do festivals together, other shows together, mind, body, spirit shows together, and you will probably see more of us as a team, from this point forward. And when COVID, I can't say disappears, but when the fear of it disappears. I think you'll see that these gypsy travelers with Mystique, and Danina has her own business, a futurist psychic. I think you'll see a lot more of us as teaming up doing some things in the future. So we both look forward to that. And if I've surprised you, Danina, with that news, well, so be it. You know, I think you already knew that it was going to be kind of in there in the wind. But anyway, we will talk about that another time. And after all that, what are you asking? Insight on if I am moving house. Love watching you. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Will you be moving house? Okay. Honey, what I see with that is lots has to go on before you can. It seems that there is some blockages in front of you, and that's not me saying that you're the one that's doing the blockages on it. It's more about certain situations, certain things going on in the home right now don't kind of equate for you to be able, how do I say this? Doesn't equate for you to be able to move on to another home just at this point in time. There are things around, I wasn't going to say it, but Spirit's telling me that there's things around finances that you need to, wording is you need to tidy up in finances to be able to have a nest egg to lean towards something else. I don't know, that doesn't even make sense to me, but that's what's coming through from Spirit. And I also want to say to you that with respect, I know he's a funny character because he's just showing me, with respect from the circus world, it's almost like a lot of rings. You're standing there and a lot of rings are being put on you, meaning like a lot of rings are being put over your body to virtually say, you know, we are in this together. And Dad is just, oh my God, he's virtually saying that something, it's not a material thing. Some knowledge that he has passed on to you as a child will help you endure what you need to go through to get to where you need to be with this new house. That's the only way I can say it, because he just rattled that off at 1,000 miles an hour. So whatever he taught you when you're a child, and I don't know whether in the circus realm, whether you are old enough to even remember these, because he's showing me again these rings that he put around you, not as a protection as such. Probably you can use it now as a protection, but back in the day it was more about embracing who you were, because something went on where you didn't quite feel like you belonged. I know that sounds rather weird, but that's where he seems to be pushing me. But I have to say that now he would embrace you with those rings, and now you would understand how by throwing those rings off one by one, it's layer upon layer type thing. What does that add? Oh no, that's a different, I'm not even going to go there because I can't even say it. But you're removing layer by layer to get to where you want to be. And I want to say that parts of it have been a struggle, but you don't project that struggle out. I mean, I know I've lent on you the last few weeks with a few things that have been going on with me, and you've been my sounding board, and I thank you for that. But there seems to have been some struggles in past, but it's made you who you are, the woman you are today. You embraced it. You've taken the bull by the horns, in other words, and embraced it. But he still keeps coming back and saying what he taught you years ago when you were young, of how to build and how to do things and how to put something aside. It's like that you know how to do that, and there's something to the side, whether he was involved in that or it's something from him. I'm actually unsure. I have to be honest, I'm unsure, but it seems to be whatever he's taught you to put aside, or whether he's got something there that you've put aside, will help you move forward with getting somewhere else, but not quite this instance. There seems to be a blockage in front of you that you can't, and I hate that word can't, but it seems to be there's something that's just stopping you right in this point to be able to do it successfully because if you went out and did it right now, he's telling me that it would be wrong. You wouldn't find, you would think that you would find the right place, but it would be actually so wrong. So he's virtually saying put it on the back burner, but not way back on the back burner, if that makes sense. So put it on the back burner, but not way back in the thing, if that makes sense. So I hope that helps you. Let me know how you go with that. That'd be fab. Let me have a look. Wow. So much. I have to laugh. This is why I love you. I love the fact that you are blunt. And that's what I love. Give me the strength and oh, that is so funny. Slav, you are so gorgeous, seriously. Yep. I'm not your fairy queen. Not an anti-pansy fairy by all means. But I do, like, I am pretty straight to the point in how I have to deliver, and that's the way I am, and that's why I say people either like me or hate me. You know, there are unfortunately some people in the industry who are all about butterflies and sunshine, and sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes that's great to have, but because it gives people, like, hope and all the rest of it, which is fabulous. But at the other end of the scale, it's spirit comes to me with things that you need to know. Like I always tell people, sometimes if they ask about love, spirit directs me in the most important thing that you need to know right now, and that's how they come through with that. And I just end up, when I have full-on sessions with people, there is never any judgment, and I do everything with the utmost respect. But sometimes I have to give them that push up the backside, or I have to kick them and say, well, I'm sorry, you're still carrying this from past. And I go, no, I got rid of all that. And I go, you might have thought you got rid of it, but I'm still sensing something there. And if I'm still sensing it, it means that I'm still feeling it. And it just makes it harder for their lives to progress, if that makes sense. So, I kind of I didn't force myself to do my other diplomas and stuff in counselling and whatever else, but it was a niche that I kind of knew that people needed for other things that I saw in readings. And that's what I said. I come back to this wellness centre that I wanted to do years ago. So it kind of is that right now. I just don't have the big structure to actually have it in. So, yeah. I think I popped it up and I just read it. Yes, I know it makes you angry, but unfortunately, we can't all be superwoman, as much as we might love to. We'd like to solve a lot. Okay, got a couple of crazy comments here. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Amy. Amy, it possibly is a fracture. I feel it's maybe needs more than putting back into alignment, maybe. But yeah, the X-ray will certainly show it up loud and clear. But as I said, I don't see a massive drama with it, as much as there might be some pain. Okay, Alison, any insight on what happened to me at the age of 3 or possibly 8? I must have blocked it out. Alison, that's a it's a wonderful question, and I don't have any problems responding. However, I feel it's quite private. I don't know whether everything should be aired on here. I think there's a lot to be solved in that one. I actually want to say to you it wasn't 3, and I actually want to say to you it wasn't 8. I'm getting the ages 5 and 6, and I'm getting that 2-year period, and I'm getting a lot of confusion, but I'm also getting a lot of what I want to say, like you're kind of hiding under something. You're kind of there is a fear factor. There is a like an urgent sense to protect your head. Like, so there's certain things that are going on with that. There is a certain amount of pain. There is a certain amount of loudness in adults screaming as well as yourself. There, honey, I have to be honest, it is so involved and rather deep. What I see is actually not great. I know your part, and like I know you're past it, but I know that you're still deep down that you have questions and that you're holding on to some hurt. And I do believe, and I'm not brushing off, but I do believe that really, from what I just got there, has to be done in absolute privacy. If you want to contact me for a reading, so be it. But I feel that, yeah, I really don't believe it should be aired here, with all due respect. And I hope you totally understand that. I know you will trust in what I'm saying, and I know you know that I will say everything with respect. Thank you, Anthony. Okay. I'm going to touch on this one. On Amanda. I will see if the spirit visits our beautiful granddaughter. Amanda, if I can just touch on a couple of things, if you don't mind me saying. What you see and feel. If I can ask you if it's a basket, I get shown a basket of what looks like to me of small flowers, and it's almost like she used to pick them from either your house or her own house and give them to you. The most gorgeous little smile, and yeah, such a pretty. But I want to say to you, her dresses were pretty. They were very feminine and pretty. But I keep seeing this basket. She has a basket. And I want to say to you that when she comes to you, if you can let me know when you're sensing something, do you feel that someone is touching you? I have to go with exactly what I feel and exactly what I hear. Do you feel like a touch on your left arm? Do you feel that someone is near the elbow, almost grabbing the elbow to kind of get your attention, but when you go to look or to touch, there's nothing there? I get that sensation, but I feel that it's her by your side with this basket. It's almost like she wants to give you a gift, and whether that's you gave her a gift before you lost her, there's something that she just has in this basket, and there's this smile. This smile lights up a room. I mean, she is just a divine soul, and this basket and this little skipping come presenting something, but I do feel there's little flowers in it. And I feel that she used to pick them, and they used to play around like a lot in the garden. And whether that's your garden or her, her own, where she lived, her own garden, but there seemed to be so much joy around the outdoors and around the garden that that's what she's bringing through. And as I said, just a gorgeous soul. So if you can please let me know about this touch on the left hand side, that would be lovely, because it to me it just feels beautiful, and I do believe that she is the one that is around you. So thank you for that. Wow, this is a long one from this lady's going to cover my whole face, but let's just put it up there. Her passed away this month. Mum was given penicillin after a fall, and she passed and was not able to speak to us as she went into a coma before she passed. I heard her speak to me in my heart. I know she is looking over me and loved me so deeply. She was a compassionate, loving mother to me all her life. I don't miss her at all as we talk all the time. I have some troubled time in my past and I am at peace now and thriving. Well, that, Lucia, I know it was your first time coming here, and thank you for trusting in me to connect with Mum. Your feedback is beautiful. So all I can say is thank you so much. It's, as I said, this is my life. This is my passion. I do everything with respect and integrity. If I think that something on these live feeds, if I think if something is too personal, I actually don't feel that it is the right forum to look at anything. But that's where I can safely say that if anyone wants to connect with me privately, please, it is www.mystique.net. If you want to go to my website and book a session, you're more than welcome. And or you can inbox me on my Facebook pages. There's this one, the Mystical Mystique Live TV. There's that Facebook page. There's Mystique Psychic Medium. There's Mystique Holistic Counselor and Therapist. There's a few Mystique pages that I have, so you can always connect with me there. It's always great. If all of you that are still here, if you can please like and share the page, whether it's to your own page or to a group, or if you're having a watch party, that's fantastic, because somebody else that maybe can't comment here or can't watch at the time will all, 99% of the time get something out of the readings to help themselves. So if we can please do that for others, that would be fantastic. Again, thank you so much. Let me see who's here. Amy, I've read for you. You might need to watch. If your phone died, you may need to watch back on that. And you'll soon pick up your reading. Okay. If I've missed a few people along the way, I'm very, very sorry. I've been trying to go down the list as they come in. And if I've missed you, please type it again if you want to. Don't think that's going to annoy me. It just means that I've missed it, because comments have been coming through very, very fast, and sometimes I can't keep up with it. So yeah, if I've missed you, just let me know, and I'll try to do it. I normally come on for 2 hours. We've gone 2 hours and 16 minutes. I will kind of close it off at the 2.5 hours mark. And I've been trying to be fair to everybody I can. If anyone does miss out tonight, please understand that I'm, going to do this every Saturday night at 8 o'clock Sydney time. And I'll try to do 2 hours. If something unforeseen happens on a Saturday where I can't do it, that would be the only reason why I won't be here. But I do know that being able to help everybody I can, or as many people as I can, get through some tough times, whether it be mediumship, whether it be just from the tarot, whether it be from just in my own guidance from what I feel. I do know that, it helps wonders. For anything very in-depth or very personal, please come to my website or my Facebook pages, and we can have a session and sort that out. That'd be really great. So Kamara, have I said that right? Sometimes I mispronounce. But anyway, new follower, thank you very much for following. I appreciate that. Can I get a general reading, and if anything is coming through from my knowing spirit? Okay, let me have a look what's going on with you, my love. I actually want to say to you that an issue that's been going on at work, where you've had some conflict, it seems to have caused you a bit of grief. It seems to, I want to say to you that you got a little bit ill from it as well as, and that would be like a stress illness, where, again, you probably thought that you couldn't speak up, but you did. I want to say to you that situation is resolving, and I think it's resolving for the better. But I think that you still feel like you've been hardly done by, or that you feel that someone has done you an injustice is what I want to say there. But I'm here to say at the end of the day that you're looked at with more respect because you've brought it forward. I hope that makes sense to you. And it's more like sometimes when we speak up in a work situation, sometimes we can get hammered for it, and sometimes it goes against us because sometimes people don't like that we've had a voice and we've spoken up about it. But in your case, it seems like at first the other party didn't like that you spoke up, but your peers are the ones that are respectful of you doing so, because then it made them fully aware of the situation. So I want to say that quite clearly, that you've helped resolve and helped change something there that you feel, I guess. Right now, I think that you feel that you've still had the injustice, but I think over the next couple of weeks you will see how it's worked in your favor, and I think that you'll be actually very pleased that you did speak up. Now, on your Nan's side of things, I want to say to you that if you have where is she going with me? If you have a gold chain of hers, I seem to be being shown a gold chain with something hanging on it. It's either the chain was hers or the pendant type thing that's hanging off it was hers. She's loving that you're wearing it, and she's loving when you, I think it's more the pendant actually, because she's saying to me she loves it when you, I haven't got a pendant on. I was trying to reach mine. I don't have one on. It's like when you touch it, she sees that sense of joy. It's almost like you get a connection with this. It might even just be a piece of jewelry that she's given you, earlier on in your life, that you seem to have worn more or have taken more precious moments with it since her passing, as I want to say there. But she's very much a lover of how it makes you feel. And with respect, she says, okay, maybe she's dobbing you in here. She's saying you've got a few nice pieces, and she's loving how others embrace and compliment you when you're wearing such things. So she's bringing that through, and a very gentle soul. And I don't want to upset anyone when I say that she thanks you for how do I say this? The display of flowers. She thanks you for, and I think you will know exactly what I mean by that. In her wording, very tasteful, and some flowers that she really loved as part of the arrangement is where she's going with that. And also too, that you, I don't know if you're growing one of her favorite flowers, or that you buy yourself flowers in her favorite flower to remind yourself of her. You don't have to do that, but what she's saying is that she sees the efforts that you go to in keeping her alive, keeping her smiling, keeping her shining from above. She wraps, as I said, her arms around you a lot when you're feeling a bit low, and but I think you already know that. But yeah, beautiful soul. Let me know how you go with that, and if you need anything further, again, please let me know and we can sort something out. Beautiful. Man, I'm having some great connections tonight. It's so nice. It's so nice. Let me see. Let me see. Kim, you popped in and said hello a bit earlier. You're asking for a question. Let me have a look. April, I'm just seeing your comment. April McCants, you're saying that you were missed. Can you please retype the question, because I think it would be long gone if you're saying that you're missed. Can you please let me know what your question was, and I'll try and get that done. I'm only going to be here for about another 8 minutes or so. But because you've written missed, I can, if you can retype that, that'd be fabulous. And if not, we can do that next week if you want to log in. That'd be great. All right, Kim. Kim, so much has gone on with you. So much. I do want to say to you that you were pretty stuck there for a while, and I okay, here's the card. I knew it was coming, and I think that you, how can I say this? I think that you thought that a lot of things in your life had come to an end, and a lot of things that you thought that you were gonna that you couldn't get past is what I want to say. And it saddens me to think that you thought that certain things that you couldn't get past, when I kind of know deep down that you are a pillar of strength, but at times you can display that quite easily, but at times you can't. And it's those times when you're feeling rather overwhelmed that I think you feel that you can't put your hand up, but you can. You can. And yeah, it seriously just takes just a little bit of time and energy to kind of put to not worry about all the eggs that are in your basket at once, because when you do that, it's kind of like you're over frustrating yourself. Look at everything individually. And I know you might feel like you have a lot of things to do, but look at things individually, because when you look at them individually, it's not so bad of a deal. But when you look at them all together, it's way too overwhelming. And I just think that there's certain things that you need to kind of focus on and put some stuff out of your mind, like go through that basket and just sort of go, do you know what? I need to have a look what's in the basket and go, what is the most important one there? Grab that one first and then work with that. And have the confidence in yourself, knowing that you will get through all of it. As much as that basket's going to look so goddamn full, have a look and kind of go, do you know what? Let me look at this a bit differently and let me do things separately, and then I'll be able to work through it one by one. Okay. I just feel that I feel that you do get overwhelmed at times, and I mean that with the greatest respect. And it's when you get overwhelmed that you think that you can't solve certain things, or you lose some clarity and lose some focus. And then I think then the impact of everything seems to overwhelm you even more. So if you can just kind of separate some of those things and do things one at a time, then I feel that things will kind of start to be put in perspective, and you'll be able to kind of move forward with a bit more ease, if that makes sense. Let me know how you go with that, Kim. I'd appreciate. And if you need help with anything else, that'd be great. I can help you with that. So April, you have come back to me. I wanted to have a reading, but I want you to give my reading to Joe Glennie. She needs it more than me. Okay, I haven't seen that name though. Let me scroll back up. If that's the case, if that's what you're saying. Joe. Oh, okay. I've got it here. Please help. We are homeless, living in a shelter. Will we find a place to live soon? Okay. April, firstly, I want to thank April for being so selfless in offering her spot to somebody else. April, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And this is what I mean when I say, like and share out, my page to as many places as you can, because, at times, I know in this instance, April has given her reading over to somebody else. And, and I don't know, April, how long you were in the queue for, but, again, I would thank you. But when the page is shared, some other people that are in some situations that I may have already been highlighting over the night, people get to hear some of the responses and things resonate with them, and then they kind of go, do you know what, I wasn't involved in that, but I actually, I got some information out of it, and I can put myself on the right path. So that's kind of why I would like, if we can like and share as much as we can, it just can help somebody else. Now, Joe, I actually want to say to you that, and I know this is going to sound really cliche when I say trust in the system, because believe me, there's times when I would never trust the system, but Spirit is directing me to, it seems like that you're in some sort of queue. It seems like, I don't want to say I don't want to say something like take a number and wait, but Spirit is saying that your situation has been looked at, and I want to say twice. So somebody has looked at your paperwork twice, and therefore I feel like this queue thing, I feel like it's been bumped up the queue, if that makes sense. I don't even know if there's a queue for this sort of thing, because I really don't know. So Joe, if you want to enlighten me with that, then that'd be great, because Spirit is saying to me that your paperwork has been viewed twice, and it seems to have been taken a notch up each and every time that it's been viewed. So if that is the case, if you have to wait in queue for these things, as I'm not 100% sure, but that's where it seems to be headed. But I have to say that, you know, in the first instance, if there wasn't COVID, and I mean this with such respect, if there actually wasn't COVID here, that your situation would have improved quicker than what it will be, because it seems with a lot of people that like lost their jobs and lost their homes and whatever else, it seems like there's more focus on, like, you know, everybody. Right. But when I say that, yes, there is a lot of people that it's happened to, but yours was already there. I'm seeing that your situation was already there before COVID, and I see that 2 people have looked at it, and I see that it's been moved forward, and now there's, like, you know, a lot of people behind you. But I need you to hold the faith in that things will kind of work out sooner rather than later. I don't see it though till before Christmas. So it seems like just before Christmas you are placed somewhere. And with that, I want to say that your Christmas is different, but it's still not going to be the fab, you know, big Christmas. But it would mean a happy Christmas, because you're somewhere where you're safer. You're somewhere where, you know, that everything, it mightn't be a, you know, a fabulous place as such, but it's somewhere where you feel like it's home. There's little knick-knack things that you can do to make it even more special. There seems to be an abundance of, and what I get shown, there seems to be an abundance of goods that comes with it as well as. So I don't know whether that's people that are working for this particular shelter that end up I don't know, giving you some things to take with you, or setting up some things, or somebody comes along and does something. Spirit is just sort of saying to me that when you go into there, not only will some small bits that you do make it feel more homely, but other people will come on board and kind of, not only you, it seems to be another family as well as, because I keep getting shown 2 families that will be embraced with, as I say, it may not be the perfect home, but they'll be embraced with bricks and mortar over their head, and will be able to have a little bit of an enjoyable Christmas, rather than the one that they, you know, would be kind of thinking now that they're not going to have one, if that makes sense. So I wish you well on that. Please let me know if that makes sense, and if there's ever any other time that I can help you with, that'd be fabulous. April, I want to thank you. I want to acknowledge you in being such a beautiful soul yourself, in doing that. And I want to quickly draw some cards for yourself, as a wonderful soul that can do something so selfless, which is fabulous. Greatest respect to you, my love. Now, I want to say to you that you've had a bit of a topsy-turvy time yourself in the last 12 months. I'm leaning more towards 12 months than anything else. So something went on with you before COVID started. And, excuse me, I actually want to say to you that there were some people around you that did you wrong, if that makes sense. And you do have a heart of gold, and you've certainly shown that to me tonight. But Spirit says that your heart has been squashed. So your heart hasn't been broken as such. Your heart has been squashed. So when I see the squashed heart, it's more that somebody has, not a partner as such, has, you know, broken up with you or done whatever, but it's more about somebody has done you wrong, and you can't understand why they've done it, and, you know, because you haven't done anything to upset them as such for someone to do that to you. But it seems like a friend, or, well, it has to be a friend, it can't be anybody else. It seems like that person has, you know, done you an injustice, and that your heart is saddened, but you feel like there's the way your body and your mind is reacting is if you're going through grief, it's kind of going through the motions of, oh my God, I've lost that person, but the other side of your brain is saying, but hang on a minute, I didn't do anything wrong. They've done this to me. It's like they've thrown me under the bus, but I still feel this sense of grief. So I feel like that there's something that's gone on there, that you do have a lot of strength and integrity within yourself, and you will get past it, but these feelings are fresh. These feelings seem like it's someone that you least expected to be blindsided by, is what I see there. But to me, I need to say what Spirit is saying to me is that you actually don't need that sort of relationship in your life anyway. People who do that to anyone, um, that person is not in your life to bring joy or happiness to you. It's that person is in your life to bring you sadness and bring you some stress, and you certainly don't need that. So if you understand what I mean by that, and if you understand the person that I'm talking about, then you will understand where you need to go from that point forward. Because I feel with you, because you're a gentle heart, that you'd still like to have them near you and still like to hold them close, if that makes sense. But there's the other part that says, I've been mistreated, so why? And that would be the question that I would ask. Like, if someone has mistreated you, or thrown you on the bus, or whichever way you want to say it, then why should they be there? So I just feel like someone has wronged you, and I want to embrace you, to call upon your inner warrior, to look at your own strengths and understand that's that person's problem, and it had actually nothing to do with you whatsoever. So yeah, I'll leave that one with you, and we'll see. Okay. All right. We have gone over 2.5 hours, so I am going to wrap it up for this evening. I want to thank every single one of you for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's always my pleasure to help who I can. And April, there's your thank you from Joe. I do want to thank everybody for joining. I want to thank everybody for liking and sharing the page. I certainly won't see any of that till later. And I'm here, as I said, I'm here every Saturday evening from 8 p.m. onwards, and I'll do as much as I can, to as many as I can each week. Anything that if anyone wants to connect with me privately, so it's not, where it's an actual session as such, they can inbox me on my Facebook pages. And if you can also come onto my Facebook pages and like those as well, and inbox me there for anything else, or go to my website, and which is www.mystiquene.net. And I hope I will see you all and more next Saturday evening. And as I said, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining in, and I wish you all the very best for the remainder of the weekend. So divine blessings from me. Thank you so much, and good night. Thank you. See you next Saturday.